All right, welcome, Senior Home Business family. How you guys doing today? We got Brittany in the car going 45 minutes down the road, probably 150 miles an hour. No, not really. Probably you're just probably going the speed limit, but you're going down the road to see a family. I'm in the office. I was on the road last week, so sometimes you guys in this business, we are on the road. We are talking to people. We are helping individuals because Brittany and I actually do this on a daily basis, and so we want to encourage you guys as you are entertaining the thought of being a senior placement agent. You would drop down, click one of the links. You can get a free webinar. You can schedule a conversation, all that good stuff. But let's get right into it. Why people came to the video, they didn't come to click the link. But now I promise you, they didn't come to click the link. But what they did come is they go, okay, what to do when the phone is not ringing. And this happens with every business. It happens with every entrepreneur. It happens with every salesperson. It happens with every person that's trying to do something in life. Sometimes the phone is just not ringing, and you're doing all the things you used to do. You're doing all the things that used to drum up business, used to drum up conversation, and now it's like crickets. The phone's not ringing, Brittany. It's been ringing all week, and now we're Wednesday, and nothing's going on. What's happening with here? Do you ever experience this, Brittany, in your business?
Yeah, I mean, to this day, I do. It's kind of like I call it a roller coaster, It'll be
Yeah.
really quiet. Then one day it's like, whoa, you get hit with everything, and then it's quiet again. So definitely, I think, like you said, in every business, but I think especially in senior placement, we have these weird peaks and valleys that we go through. Hopefully you have some valleys, and here comes the peak, and you really get slammed. That's usually what happens to me
Yeah.
after the quietness. But yeah, it can be alarming, and it does happen.
I mean, and it seems like in my business, and I think it's true with you, it seems like they all come at the same time. I don't know if families coordinate with each other, but it's like I can go days without anything, and then another day, 4 or 5 all hit at one time. And it's like, my goodness, do you guys know each other or something? It's crazy. So, but if you hang in there and you're doing the right things in business, and we're going to go over 5 things today that I believe will help you out. So if you are experiencing the phone is not ringing, it's not abnormal, guys. It's not atypical. It happens in business. You just got to know how to weather the storm. You got to know how to press through and do the things that's going to get you to the other end. Because in this business, when the phone doesn't ring, no new families means no new leads, and no new leads means no, what, Brittany?
Business,
No moving?
no business.
Oh, no money? No cash
No money,
flow?
no business, no nothing.
Oh, that means we would have maybe we're volunteering a little bit.
Have
We
a hobby.
a hobby. That's it. We have a hobby. Let's go have a hobby. Let's go help people, which is not a bad thing, you guys. We want to volunteer and do things that are great in your community. I'm not bashing that at all. But in this business, you get to help people and actually make a decent amount of money and a good living. So I want to get into it, Brittany, if we can. Number one, drumming up leads when you're dry. How can somebody, because I know that's the first thing on their mind, it'd be the first thing on my mind, especially when I first started. We all know my backstory. I ain't got to get into it, but it's just when things are dry, how do you drum up those leads? How do you get the thing going again? I mean, it's just, what's the secret sauce? I mean, what's the right thing to say? What's the script that I say? Where's the place that I go? What's the next thing that I do? So let me ask you, Brittany, when things got dry for you, which I know was not that typical for yourself and me nowadays, but because of the brand and different things we're doing. But guys, I want to be vulnerable and transparent with you. There's been plenty of times in my life, especially in this business, where I've gone a week and a half, and I'm kind of like, dude, if I don't get another move in, dude, this ship is sinking, right? I remember, Brittany, I think I've shared this one time on one of the older videos, but my wife and I were going to LA. She had to get surgery, and I had like right about $2,200 in my bank account, and that was it. And there was no sign of a potential move-in. There was no sign of a potential lead. The phone was not ringing, and I had to get her down to LA and do all that. And I was kind of like, man, we're going to have to sleep in a tent or something. I don't know. It's kind of like, man, the count was low. And all I could tell you is I did a few things, and we'll talk about it, but went down to LA, ended up having 3 or 4 more leads and a couple of move-ins, and things got solvent again. So what do you do, Brittany, or what have you done in the past when things got dry? How do you drum up leads?
Yeah, I think the first thing I do is reevaluate a little bit. So it's kind of also a mentality thing and just looking at what has worked and what hasn't worked. So definitely I first get in the mindset of why aren't I getting leads? You know, where are the funnels that I usually get leads from? Where are they at? Do I need to follow up with them? So I think what I typically did is or I still do, is touch base with the people that I usually get leads from. So
Yes.
that's the first thing I do, is go back and just have value, provide value, but figure out why, not ask them why I'm not getting leads, but kind of touch base with them, make sure that they know I'm here. So I do that, my normal referral sources. And then I start thinking outside of the box. How can I get leads a different way? So maybe I've been slacking on social media. I repicked that back up. Maybe I need to reach out to families I've helped in the past and ask them how their loved ones are doing and remind them I'm here to help all the families in the area. So for me, I've done a lot of things, but I think reevaluation, number one. I find out, why am I not getting the leads? Where are they not coming from? And how can I pick that back up? But I think me touching base is the main thing that I do.
Yeah, that's good. I love that. It's a mindset thing. And then when I don't have anything going on, what I've done to train myself over time is I use that as an opportunity to expand, develop my own business, right? There's always, as an entrepreneur, solopreneur, we got so many hats we wear, right? So many different things that we're doing. And we feel pressed on every angle on all ends, right? And so sometimes when you're super busy and you're doing move-ins and you're doing intakes and all these different things, the social media, which you just mentioned, may start slacking a little bit, or some other areas might start slacking. Take, number one, as Brittany said, mindset. And number two, take advantage of the free time that you have. I know it's maybe, a little bit fearful, some anxiety is going to build up. Am I going to get another lead? Stay in the right mindset. You are getting another lead. Okay. You've got multiple leads. It's going to get another one's coming. But use this moment to do something else, to say, okay, how can I expand my business? And then do a social media post, get down, maybe go through some old contacts that you have, right? Some different people that maybe have given you a lead in the past, re-engage with them. Now, when you re-engage with them, let me give you a pro tip. Don't re-engage with, hey, Sam, how are you doing? Haven't seen you in a long time. You have anything for me? I'm looking for a senior to place. That's terrible. Re-engage with who Sam is and what he's doing and what he's all about and how you bring value to him. Let me give you another pro tip. I got this from Brad Lee, so I can't say this is me. I can't say I do it every day. I try to. I don't do it every day. But what he says is he gets up in the morning, outside of being grateful, then he sends 5 texts that are centered around gratitude toward people. And it's the thing. So it could be like Sam, whoever Sam is. Hey, Sam. Hey, thinking about you this morning, brother. Hope you have a great day. Go get them, man. Believing in you. Something like that. And it just has nothing to do with, hey, you have any contacts for me, any leads or anything like that. So I try to do that every day. I don't do it every day. But I think that'd be a good practice, especially if you don't have any leads. Reach out to people like that. You can reach out to senior living communities, right? In terms of just how you can help them out. Maybe, and I'm not a big proponent of events, Brittany, I know, but there might be an event, you call it an RCFE, a senior living community, and they have an event coming up, and they're like, yeah, we got this cool event, we're doing these kind of things, but and you might want to say, hey, you need a volunteer? You need somebody to come by and help? I can come by for an hour or two and help out. But you're doing something for somebody else. And I'm telling you, some of this, Brittany, you mentioned mindset, it is psychological about you not having leads, and you start focusing on the lack versus focusing on the abundance of what you've already done and what you're going to do. So focus on the abundance, not the lack. And so, but if I'm focused on the lack, I'm getting scared. Like, I don't know what's happening. I'm focused on the abundance. I'm like, man, this is a great day. This hour right here, no leads. I can concentrate on social media, Maybe you're only doing one social media account. And you're like, man, should I go hire a virtual assistant? Should I go hire a digital marketer? Should I go hire somebody to do this? You might have some time during the week because you're free right now. Get some free time and do it. So I like that. And then, Brittany, the second one's going to surprise you. And anybody that's followed me for 5 minutes, this is going to surprise you. I almost don't even want to put it up there because I'm a firm believer in this business. The 2 bookends of this business, at least for me, it's social media and it's social workers, and then everything in between. I get everybody does a little bit different, but do I have to put this one up?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Oh, why depending on only on social workers is dangerous? Okay, Matt, you're speaking out of both sides of your mouth because that's all you talk about is social workers and social media, and now you're telling me don't depend on them. Well, the truth, when I got thinking about this topic, Brittany, and just, when the phone's not ringing, my natural inclination was, okay, I get leads from social workers a lot, and they call me, text me, and they fax things over and all this stuff going on. But you know what? There is a risk in that. It's a great reward, but it's a risk. Anytime they move, get out of the business, I've had social workers quit, go do something else, change locations. I had one that was giving me a lot of leads. Her name was Stephanie. I'm not going to throw you on blast out there, Stephanie. I love you to death. But she was giving me a lot of leads. She moved from one SNF to another, and she got repositioned at the other one doing long term. Well, guess what I did in my flow of leads? Yeah, cut that thing at the umbilical cord. I wasn't getting a whole lot. Right now, she gave my contact to the other person, and things are kind of working out. But I was really depending upon her. So if you had a Stephanie or like 2 or 3 Stephanies, and you were depending upon her to give you all these leads, and then she moves to a different position, goes do something else, decides to retire or whatever they decide to do, now you're out of luck. So depending on social workers only is dangerous. Brittany, I know you use social workers, at least case manager, discharge planners. What are some of what would you say about this? I mean, should a person only use social workers, or should they expand?
No, I agree with you. I think they need to have a diverse referral sources for sure. Like maybe throw in home health, in-home private duty, hospice, if you're going that direction. Can
Mm-hmm.
still be case managers and social workers, but I definitely think broaden your spectrum and what part of the industry they're in. That'd be my advice. And also don't rely on 2 or 3 of them. Go
Yeah.
out and try to get as many as you can, because to your point, I mean, I've had this happen. One is left and then there goes my
Yeah.
referral, flow. So it does happen. So like I think don't rely on them. Definitely I agree solely. Expand maybe where you're getting the referrals from in the social work, like go to different social workers, hospice, home care, home health, like go into different avenues, not just discharge or social workers and rehabs. I think they switch jobs more than your home health and your home care, but also like diverse your referral sources other
Yeah.
than social workers. Like make sure you're getting that. And the cool thing about social worker referrals, when you build your business, you're going to get a lot of word of mouth from the referrals that you worked from the social workers. So it is a long game, but you get a lot of referrals even in the future from working with social workers. But I don't solely work with them. I know you for the most part
I
did, I
love
think.
them. Hey,
Yes.
social workers
Yeah.
out there, love all of you guys. Call me.
Yes. So I think it's just a way to diverse your referral sources. Get in front of as many people as you can. Don't rely on 2 and 3. Don't sit back if 2 and 3 start giving you weekly referrals. Go out and get more.
Absolutely. Yeah. It is a risk reward. I love it. Maybe I love it so much because that's the way my business kind of started to catapult, started to increase in a lot of ways. It is social media too, guys. I didn't put that up there because I still think, see, social media, there's really no risk to social media unless you're paying for ads. The risk for social workers, they can just leave, right? And then you have nothing. You invested that time, they invested the time in you, they leave. Now you got to start over. Social media, you never had to start over. Now, if you're paying for ads, that's different. That's a risk and reward. But if you're doing the free stuff, dude, it's free. It's just free. Just keep posting. So use that time. But yeah, I agree. I mean, depending on only on social workers can be dangerous. It can be detrimental to your business. So you do want to have multiple streams of influence out there. So the third one is creative ways to network. I mean, what are some ways, Brittany? I mean, I know I've heard some really cool ideas of some of our students, have done, and you've done some great things. And, I'm not real big on the event side of things, but the networking I totally get. As long as it's for me, as long as it's networking with a purpose, right? I just don't like going somewhere and just kind of hanging out, right? Maybe it's because I'm 56 and you get older in life. It's like, that hour could have been spent doing something else more valuable. And so more conscientious about time. But it's just, what are some creative ways, if the phone's not ringing, that they can get out and network? Again, they're being, the point is they're being proactive, right? You're not kind of sitting and sulking over the phone's not going off. Oh my gosh, no one's responding to me. So I'm gonna get out there and network. What are some ways they can network?
I think a tip would be to network outside of senior living, out of the industry.
Yeah.
Network outside of seniors. I know our brains go to
Yep.
marketing directors, social workers, all these different parts of the industry. I would network outside of that. I have had more luck sitting in a networking event or whatever that looks like, meeting and pitching what we do and talking about what we do. And everyone's like, oh my gosh, I've never heard of this. Oh my gosh, I wish I'd known you 2 years ago. I get more traction there. I also think getting in front of the masses that way, instead of going to the same networking events that you see the same senior living people every single time. Not saying that's a bad thing to do, but if you're at the point where you're not, where your phone's not ringing, go outside of senior living. And I don't think a lot of people think about that. They think,
Yeah.
okay, senior living industry, who sees seniors every day? Maybe tweak it a little bit. Maybe they don't see seniors every day, but they have a ton of friends, or they're just influential in the community, like your people that go to your chamber. There's just so many ways to do it, but I do think getting outside of our industry is very helpful.
I totally agree with you because I never got the concept. Like I went to 2 of these events where it was nothing but senior placement agents and things like that. And to me, it was kind of like, I mean, I get the whole we're all on the same team. We're helping the seniors. Kumbaya. Let's all get together. Hey, good to see you. It is like, but ultimately, that's still your competitor, right? So I never got that concept. And I know even some of our students do that kind of thing. They all get together. And I get it. It's in the spirit of being gracious and loving each other, appreciating. Doesn't mean you have to go around hating your competitors. But at the same time, I don't think it's that productive of my time to be going into a room of all the other senior placement agents and doing the kumbaya thing. I just don't. I never got that. So I love your approach of being more creative and networking outside the senior placement business or senior living industry altogether. Right? I mean, just talking to people, and you never know. I mean, this old adage, right? I mean, you're one contact away, you're one decision away, you're that kind of deal, but you never really know who you may bump into. And you might end up bumping into somebody if you take a risk and start talking to strangers, start talking to people that you wouldn't normally talk to. And just in a casual conversation, something just comes up and they might know a whole bunch of people or can open up doors that you can never open up just because they go and say, hey, I'm calling in a favor. This girl, Brittany, and this guy, Matt, and so-and-so over here can really come and help seniors and really want to do that. So I love that. Now let's get to the fourth one. If the phone's not ringing, man, you're going to have to get into some cold calling, some emailing, webinars, or something like that. I know this is where it's going to rub people the wrong way. This is where people are going to really be uncomfortable. And I'm telling you, to be successful in business, and Brittany can say this too, if you're going to get to the place of success, you're going to have to be uncomfortable. If you're always comfortable, I guarantee you, no matter what you set out to do, you're not going to be successful. Get uncomfortable with what you're about to do. I mean, cold calling. You're like, well, I don't know what to say. I don't know who to call. I'm scared to death. Well, if they reject me, do it anyway. Emailing. I'm going to email a few people. What if they don't respond? It doesn't matter. You're doing something. You're proactive. A webinar. I mean, that might not be your thing. I just started doing webinars a couple of years ago. So maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago, something like that. But, that might be a little different thing. But I mean, cold calling and emailing, you just got to start doing something. And the cool thing about the emailing and or webinars I like is you can send something out, right? Email, or you do a webinar and it's sent out. And now you get some residual effect of that, of what you just did. Now, the cold calling, it just happens on the spot. Or maybe it is a little bit if you leave a message and they respond. I get that. But that's what I love about webinars. You can get to do a webinar and then it's just out there. Like this video is on YouTube. It's just out there, right? And people land on it. They're like, what's Brittany doing? What's Matt doing? This whole senior home business, senior placement institute. How can I do this? And all that. But you're throwing it out there. So in your business, you've got to shake some things up. If you're in a dry period, not getting any leads, the phone is not ringing, be grateful for what you got. Remind yourself why you're doing what you're doing anyway. It's not for you. It's for seniors. So remind yourself of that. And then be proactive and do the very next thing, which could be cold calling. Brittany, have you ever done any one of these three and done it when you're in a dry period?
Yeah, not webinars, but everything but webinars I definitely have. I like cold calling. I know you do too.
Yeah, I love it. I love walking into buildings and places that I don't know. And I love the suspense of it. I love the uncertainty of it. I love, like, it just gives me goosebumps. I'm not like in a nervous way. I just love it. I feed off of it. Like, I can't wait when someone rejects what I'm about to say. I can't wait to somebody be rude to me and I can be polite back to them. I can't wait to somebody that needs help that I can actually pick up something off the ground, help, and give it to them. All that stuff happens when you enter into rooms or places that you're uncomfortable. Get to the place of being uncomfortable. You'll be all right. But I know people don't like that because it's kind of like, well, I don't know. I might stumble and I'm put myself out there might be a bad thing. It's never a bad thing. Just be you. And I've always taught, we always say this in senior placements too, right? With our students, it's like your superpower is you, yourself. Don't allow yourself to just retreat and feel sorry for yourself and play the what if game. What if my phone never rings again? What if I never get a client again? Man, what if you get 100 clients next week? What if your phone never stops ringing? I bet you that'd be a problem. I guarantee you somebody that goes from one extreme to the other, they have the phone's not ringing, right? But then now the phone never stops. That would be their complaint. Man, my phone just never stops. I'm so busy. I don't know. People always calling me. You have to be grateful for whatever it is. So if it's not ringing or it is ringing. So in emails, which one of those two you use most? Cold calling or email?
Cold calling.
Yeah, I like cold calling. Yeah. And
I'll shoot an email every once in a while. I don't cold email too much. I don't think they land or they end up in spam or for whatever reason. Yeah.
Yeah, they go off to that little, I forgot what it's called now, but it's like another
promotions
area.
Or something.
Promotions, yeah, all that stuff. But cold calling, I love. And here's a cool thing, guys, about cold calling. Let me give you a pro tip to do. I'm telling you, it's helped out in sales and other industries I was in. Helps out in senior placement. Give somebody a call, short, abbreviated, to the point message, and then follow up with a text. Yep. A quick text. Not like I left you a voicemail. No crap. I saw you called. I saw you left a voicemail. Now you're going to text me you left me a voicemail. That's pretty redundant. That's stupid. That's not what you don't do that. You send them a little text along with it. So the fifth one is, I don't know, Brittany, but making something out of nothing. Have the desire and the ability that you can make something out of nothing. And this is the cool thing about this is, okay, man, how do you make something out of nothing? There has been times, Brittany, I have gone, and my wife will tell you this, where kind of dry period, I'll go out to my patio, and I tell you guys a lot of times on these videos that I go to a period of just thinking and processing, ask one question about my business and have that and just visualize and meditate on that one thing. And so there's been plenty of times I've done something like that where I've gone on the patio. It's kind of where I go when it's not 1,000 degrees, and which today is not. Today feels kind of cool. So you go out to the patio and you start thinking, and I've gone out there and I've drummed up thousands of dollars all in one spot. Bang, bang, bang. Picked up a move in, or not really picked up a move in, but picked up a good qualified lead that led into a move in, but something that's going to spring some hope into you, right? Maybe a good contact. And a good contact that potentially could give me more qualified leads. That could be another thing you guys could think about, in terms of, as you network with people and extending value to them, they're going to generally reciprocate. They're going to feel like they're obligated to you to reciprocate. So I'll get back to you. But Brittany, have you ever made something out of nothing? I know you have in this business, because when you started back in 2019, it was nothing. And now look where it's at today, where you're in 2 different locations in Texas and Missouri and doing all the work you're doing. So in the grand scheme of things, you took nothing and made it something. But how do we do that when we're in a dry period?
Yeah, I like the fact that you said you brainstorm or think of different ideas. I really also appreciate the fact that you said when you're slow, it gives you a time to really think and get stuff done. So I think this is almost in the same regard. Like, you're making something, you don't have anything going on, but you're taking the time, and you have the time if you do this correctly, instead of sitting back and just saying, oh, we don't have any leads, what are we going to do? You're able to brainstorm and make something out of nothing. Basically, you're able to maybe change some things, maybe talk about things. I find when I dwell on the negative, nothing happens.
That's right.
When I look at the positive, things happen. So
yes, absolutely. The key thing is, man, just keep moving and document your journey along the way. You guys know I got that crazy notebook I carried around, stuff like that. I document it. I don't treat it like a diary and I'm writing down every day what I did and all that stuff. I don't write scriptures, quotes, and personal things and ideas that come to mind. I'll draw something out that looks stupid because I'm not an artist, but just to me, it looks pretty cool. And then start kind of developing some things. But that's the biggest thing, I think, Brittany, outside of some things that people can actually do when they're going through this dry period, like what to do when the phone's not ringing, there's no families, no new leads, no move-ins, is utilize that time to develop your business in other areas and say, you know what, I'm given an opportunity now. Maybe you woke up today and today's Wednesday and you're like, man, I got no leads. Well, guess what? That's your assignment for that day. Go get leads. It makes it simple, right? It's just, it kind of makes it so stupid simple. Okay, so I don't know what I'm going to do today. What are you lacking? Okay, I'm lacking leads. Okay, let's go get leads now. Put something on social media, call some social workers, go do some events or some networking stuff that Brittany was saying, doing some stuff like that and move in the right direction. And if you move, things are going to happen. I mean, if you're stagnant physically, like you're just not moving, you're not doing anything, and you just say, well, it's Wednesday, I got no new leads or anything, I think I'm just going to take the day off.
The industry's slow. I've heard that.
Industry slow. Dude, we've done this math on these channels so many times, these videos, Brittany, like we know pretty much how many seniors are moving every single month in your area. So it's not, you're right. It's not the industry slow. It's just, you're not
busy.
So if you want to get busy in doing the business, click the link down below and let's schedule a consultation call. Brittany, thank you so much for all you do. I know you're getting to your appointment with the family, and I don't hold you up, but guys out there, audience, thank you so much for being with us. But man, your phone's not ringing in any business, especially senior placement. Make sure you're doing some things during that dry period to move the ball forward, and don't just sit there and sulk. Don't go on vacation for the day. Don't check out. Check into what you're doing and say, okay, I need leads. So today is all going to be about lead generation. And if you're like me, you got marker boards or something like that, or just use paper or what, I don't know, people just kind of just jot down in the dirt. I don't know, what are you going to do? But just write down some ideas and just have a brainstorming session. Like take 30 minutes of your day and say, you know what? The sky's the limit, man. I don't care. Money's not an option. I got all the connections in the world. These are the things I'm going to do to drum up business. And I'm just going to write down some stuff. And you might not ever get to any of those things, or you might not definitely won't get to all of them, but there might be one or two that are kind of like a diamond in the rough where you say, man, I didn't think about that. And now you start thinking more about it. And as you guys know, that what you think about, you end up being focused on, right? You're going to think about it, you're focused on it, and it's going to appear because that's what you're thinking about all the time. That's what you're concentrating on. So anyway, until next time, God bless.